BRIDEAR or BRIDEAR. I think it's BRIDEAR. I still have not confirmed how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm sure if you go onto their Wikipedia page, it'll have the katakana, but it's like over 5 years since I first heard of this band, and I still haven't confirmed how to pronounce it. Anyway, Cult, the animated video. This just came out a few hours ago, and I was doing my track-by-track listen through to the album. So if you want to check out any of the previous tracks, the reaction should already be up there, and I'll be continuing, obviously, from this one on. But Cult had an animated video come out. I did not know this was coming out, but as it just came out, I'm going to jump on it, give a reaction to both the music video and the song. But I must say, of the album so far, I always forget song names, so I got the track list right there. Yeah, so Still Burning, which was the first single to come out, first music video, so I consider anything with a music video to be a single, because as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to invest in a music video, that's a single. So Still Burning was the first single to come out, and yeah, I thought it was good, but for me it wasn't like exceptional by BRIDEAR's standards. But then I've listened to Braver Words and the title track Born Again, and they're fantastic. I've really enjoyed those. So I'm not just being an edgelord, like, you know, contrarian. It's like, well, I don't know about the singles, but I like the album tracks. I'm not doing that. Just genuinely, I found those to be more rewarding. Definitely this album is leaning into... It's definitely going for the heavier aspects, you know, a lot of double kicks and everything, but it does feel, certainly in those last two tracks, like there's been this really measured approach to having melody and, you know, great chord patterns alongside riffing and headbanging. It's felt like an album, it feels like the album has definitely got aspects of really beautiful vocals and, you know, say melody alongside headbanging. So for me, that's great. You know, combining the two things you want from this genre of music, but without feeling like one is suffocating the other. It feels like they're really getting these very well constructed songs, certainly in the last two tracks. I still think Still Burning, like I say, it's good, but I don't think it's as good as the two tracks that followed. So anyway, we're into Cult now, and I don't know what to expect. I mean, yeah, on such a high from track 2 and track 3, I got my hopes high, but I can't see how it's going to be any better than the last two tracks we heard. And also, you know, considering this one's got a music video, and so far the only song we've covered with a music video was probably my least favourite of the three, I don't know what to expect. So it's animated music video as well, so this could be kind of interesting. Anyway, enough waffle. Shall we just dive in and have a little listen to the song then, see what we think, and go from there? Let's do it. Enough waffle from me. This is Cult by BRIDEAR with the animated video. Alrighty. This is definitely heavy metal imagery. That initial melody actually sounded a bit like the way I'd expect like a band-made melody. Sort of starting off key. I've got to admit, the music video, it looks a little bit like if you typed into an AI art generator, heavy metal imagery. Maybe that's what they mean by animated. Okay, so this is interesting. This song's... It's got a very interesting rhythm at the core of it. Very shifting rhythm as well. Yeah. I know I'm going to get hate for this. I'm not sure that the shouted bits are really doing anything for me. But I do... It kind of works there in the shift in the chorus melody. And I do like the chorus as well. Nice, nice. Alright, a little bit of halftime. I have no idea what's going on with the video. Cat's just walked on the set like, what the hell is going on here? The chorus has a nice melody, but it's really paid off by that little halftime staccato bit. That was nice. There's a lot of kinetic stuff going on in this song. It's very, very... I think its strongest suit is definitely that it feels like it's busy, but not in just kind of a busy for the sake of it way. There's a lot of things happening, which is kind of really cool. So, okay, this one's a bit of an interesting one. Funny enough, I probably find myself in a similar place on this one to how I felt about Still Burning, but for very different reasons. So, whereas I think that Still Burning for me kind of felt like it was a good song, but it was very much, it was kind of like it was doing one thing throughout. This felt like it had a lot of ideas. I don't think that it was... Ironically, I don't think it was as effective as the two tracks prior. I am sounding like such a contrarian edgelord now because I'm going for the non-music video tracks like Braver Words and Born Again. I think were probably the songs that I would preference over this, but there was a lot of things about this that I liked. So if we start from the real positives for this, I mean, the chorus was very good. Again, a nice, memorable chorus. And it really worked in the way it had the big melody, and then it transfers that into the staccato mid-tempo headbang, the bam bam, and then you get the roared screaming, the roared sort of like shouted vocals in the background. That was nice. That layered it up. That worked. I don't think the shouted vocals worked outside of the chorus. I think outside of the chorus, they felt to me, I've always had a bit of a mixed feeling about those kind of vocals. I think they can work when they're giving impact, when they're like really doing something like that, but outside the chorus, I don't think they were doing that as much. The song certainly felt like it was trying to be constantly active, constantly taking you on interesting directions, which has been one of the most positive things about this BRIDEAR album so far, is that I feel like it's full of ideas, and this definitely felt like it. But yeah, I can see as well why they did a video for this one, because again, I'd say it, but any song that has the shouted vocals tends to be more popular with the online audience. A lot of people are into the more metal it is, the more fans you tend to get from online audiences. So I get it. And this is why when I said at the time, me saying anything against the shouted vocals is going to be something where people are going to go, oh, wow, you're just not a proper metal fan. You know, so I get that. I know that's coming in the comments. Don't worry. Always honest on this channel, though. So yeah, for me, I think this song felt like it was doing a lot of interesting things, and yes, this is the sort of song that is probably going to be very popular with a lot of people online because of the fact that it does have a lot of changes. It has some interesting musical bits, it has a great solo, it has the contrast between the shouted and the sung vocals. I think it was if you compared this to 90% of the other stuff coming out at the moment, I would say this would compare quite favorably. This is good. The problem is that I'm not comparing it to that. I'm comparing it to what I've heard so far of this album. And this album has been really pretty exceptional so far. We're only 4 tracks in, but I feel like it started really strong. And I would say that compared to what this is up against, this is, yeah, it's in the bottom half of the 4 songs I've heard so far. But it's still good. It's still interesting. It's still a lot of things going on. I still basically like it. But I think the other thing, I've got to be honest, I had to start, like, I stopped paying attention to the animated video after a while because, yeah, I don't know what was going on there. That was kind of the one, it just felt like very generic imagery. Just being honest, the animated video, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, at first I was like, okay, where's this going? And then I was like, it's not going anywhere. It's just generic heavy metal imagery. Yeah, and it did feel a little bit like, I mean, it was an animated video, so I don't know if it was animated in one of those, I know you can get the AI art generators, you can get video ones as well. I don't know, it looked very realistic, but with AI, you don't know these days. So I don't know what that was about, but it did look, I was watching it like, okay. I'm not sure it particularly helped the song, or I don't know what it did there, but it was imagery. Yeah, you want something visual to go with a song, I guess it achieved that. But yeah, it kind of yeah, didn't really add anything for me, that. But the song itself was good. It was good. It just I kind of, yeah, I didn't quite get the same level as, wow, this is okay, here's probably the best way to put it, and I have been waffling now for 12 minutes, so maybe I should get to the point a bit. The way that I would maybe sum this up is that the song itself had a lot of clever ideas, but they didn't click together quite as cohesively as the ideas in, say, the song that I just covered immediately before this, the title track, Born Again, where it felt like the ideas were very subtly added, but each one clicked perfectly to create something which was so much more than the sum of its parts. Whereas this one was furiously throwing ideas at you. And there were a lot of good ideas, lots of good changes. It never sounded complacent. And yet I didn't feel like the ideas clicked so cohesively as to create something that sounded like it was more than the sum of its parts. It felt exactly the sum of its parts. So it was good, but better than most of what you'd hear from a lot of their peers. And yeah, for me on this album, so far, probably, yeah, not as good as the 2 tracks that came immediately before it, but pretty damn solid anyway. So this was a very mixed review. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments, but I'm always honest, you know that. Yeah, good stuff. But this album, I think this album's got a couple of better tracks on it already. Let's see what comes next. So I think people have been enjoying my track by track reviews, so I'll be continuing to do that. I'll be catching up with the next song, which is Empty Mind. It's probably what people are going to accuse me of having after this review. I'm going to catch up with the song Empty Mind next. I don't know when it'll come out. I've been trying to release these relatively frequently, but I do a good range of music on this channel, so it might be a few days to a week before the next one comes out. Hope you enjoy these. And yeah, until I hopefully see you in the comments or in the next video. Looking forward to that. For now, ciao, ciao.